Welcome to sunny California. This week we're up in the Santa Ana Mountains outside San Diego, and I'm so excited to have found a patch of sagebrush to harvest for smudge bundles. Now this is not the same as white sage you're used to seeing in smudge sticks. Sagebrush is actually from a different plant family, the Artemisia family, and is related to mugwort and wormwood, two other lovely healing plants used for cleansing as well as for supporting female health. Known by several names, Artemisia Tridentada, big sagebrush, desert sage, and just sagebrush, this healing plant grows throughout the western U.S. and has been used for years by Native Americans for purifying ceremonies and other healing benefits. Sagebrush can be wild harvested on national forest lands. A few important things if you want to try your hand at wild harvesting. Make sure to take only 20% of the plant so that you leave plenty of growth for the plant to continue its healthy life. Ask permission of the plant before harvesting and thank it for providing you with its healing gifts to take home. Also, you should plan to harvest sagebrush or white sage either before or after it seeds for best results, because during this part of the growth cycle, most of the energy is put into the seeding process, making the stems longer and the leaves fewer and farther between. Join me today to learn how to turn wild sagebrush into hand-wrapped sage bundles for use in healing and cleansing ceremonies.
Okay guys, so we're back at camp now, and since these are still fresh, I want to go ahead and wrap the bundles tonight and not let them dry out any. It'll be easier to wrap and I won't have as many leaves fall off in the process. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys, although we're about to lose the light and we got some off-road vehicles coming through. Hopefully you can see me and hear me fine. So this is what we were cutting in the sagebrush patch, and they have all these tiny little delicate leaves. What you're used to seeing in a sage bundle is something more like this, with these longer, wider leaves. Now, this I actually found as well. As we were driving back, I saw this little silver patch on the side of the road, and I made Alan stop immediately, and I ran back, and sure enough, it was white sage. Just one little clump, then another couple feet away, another couple feet away. So I got a little bit of that and made some traditional bundles. But now I'm going to make a bundle with our sagebrush, and I'm going to show you that process, and hopefully I'm going to try and get some little crystals in there too. Smoky quartz, which as you know, is fantastic for releasing ceremonies, as well as for cleansing negativity from yourself and your surroundings. So I'm going to see if I can hold that in there. I've seen it done before. I always thought it was so beautiful. We're going to give that a try now. And we're going to take our baker's twine. So this is food grade twine that you would use in the kitchen, meaning that you're not going to get anything weird from burning it. So I thought that was important, not just to get decorative twine or string or something, but to get the real deal. We're going to obviously grab a bundle that looks about the same length, that will create the thickness you desire. Tie a knot at the bottom. Try to make it as tight as you can. Obviously, as the leaves dry out, they're going to lose water content, right? And therefore, they're going to lose size. So you want to make sure that you're bundling it snug so that when it dries out and shrinks a little bit, the string is still holding everything tight. All right, so we've got our knot there. Now, this is a pretty simple process, just a little bit of patience and concentration. You're going to go up the bundle one direction, come back the other direction. Think of it as clockwise, counterclockwise, left, right, something like that, whatever helps you remember. As you go, you're wanting to make sure that you're catching all the leaves, that they're held down against the bundle as much as possible, and then you'll catch any stragglers as you come back down. Using enough string, keeping it tight enough that you feel good that none of the whole leaves are going to be out and therefore potentially fall off when it dries. It'll probably get a little thinner at the top as you have more twigs and less branch. Go pretty close to the top. And then, once you feel pretty snug up there, go ahead and reverse your direction, coming back down. And what you're essentially creating, which I don't know if you can see in this light, but are crisscrosses. So they're Xing across each other. And that's the way that you're catching the other half of the leaves as you come back down, getting as many leaves in there as snugly as possible. And again, fairly tight so that when it dries, it won't become loose and you won't have your beautiful smudge stick falling apart. Now we have our string that we left from our knot at the bottom. Make our way back down there. Take this 2 pieces of string and create another knot. Simply at this point to secure your string so it doesn't go anywhere. Make my life a little easier by cutting this. Okay. That. And voila! Sagebrush bundle. So the next one I do, now that I've shown you how to do this, I'm going to attempt to add our smoky quartz in. So if that works, you get to see a final project, but I won't have you watch me struggle. So I'm out here again this morning, seeing if I can retrace our steps and find that white sage patch. Also, obviously, get a little exercise in and enjoy this day that's warm enough not to have on a coat. Okay, so here is some sage. And this is the patch I was talking about. And I've just realized upon walking back up that the way you tell is by these super tall spikes. So even though they're super low to the ground with these tall spikes, you can actually see them from pretty far away. So I'm gonna try and collect what I can easily and safely get from the road, leaving enough for the plant out of respect. Let's see what we can harvest here. Hey guys, so it's another warm day here in California. We are out of the mountains now, down a little bit closer to San Diego. And I have finished wrapping all of the sagebrush and the white sage, and I wanted to show you the results of that really quickly. So for the white sage, I ended up with 3 different bundle sizes. You can kind of see here, a small, a medium, and a large. Those are in the shop now as $1, $3, and $5. So super affordable, add to your jewelry purchase. You can also order them by themselves. As you guys know, in my Etsy shop, everything over $35, it ships free. So great to purchase alone for cleansing ceremonies or to add to your jewelry purchase or your crystal purchase so that you can keep those crystals in their highest cleansing energy. So if you haven't seen before, I do actually have a sage video on how to cleanse with sage, both your home, yourself, your crystals, and your jewelry. So I will put a little link up at the top here so you can get to that video if you need a little bit of extra instruction. But let me show you the sagebrush too and how those turned out. These are big, guys. 2 different sizes. And it's gonna be interesting to ship these, but I'm gonna figure it out. So these are going to be a little bit more than the white sage, obviously, because they're larger bundles. You're going to burn them the same way. So if you watch the how to use sage video, you can use these in the same method as you use the white sage. So there are those 2 guys. And I told you I was going to try and get some with smoky quartz. So let me show you that too. So I've got a few bundles that I did add the crystals to. So a little shorter and wider. But I've got a smoky quartz point here. I did smoky quartz tumbles. I have 2. I have 3, I think, smoky quartz points and 2 clear quartz points. So that's limited quantities. That's going into the shop soon. Hopefully by the time this video airs, I'll have those in there as well. So burn it all the way down. As you are using these in your ceremony, you have the extra benefit of the crystals. So these are also Reiki infused crystals, just like all of my crystals and all my jewelry. So as you're pointing your sage at whatever you're working with, the energy of that quartz point, smoky quartz or regular quartz point, is working with you. Then once you've burned it all the way down and you get near the end, you take out your crystal and use it, continue to use it in all of your favorite ways to use crystals: meditation, healing, chakra balancing, keep it in your pocket, all that kind of good stuff. So again, smoky quartz, fantastic for releasing negative energy, those purifying ceremonies, your full moon ceremony, and then clear quartz for intention setting, for clarity, for meditation, for your new moon ceremonies. So I think it turned out actually quite lovely. It's held in there very well. As before I let you guys go, one thing to note, I showed you wrapping these, and the string stays pretty tight. This did a good job of holding its shape. The second batch that I did wet one more time before I wrapped them, and that helped the leaves stay down a little bit better, made it a lot easier to wrap with all these tiny leaves. Sage, the white sage, you can do that either way. It's fairly easy to hold down the larger leaves and get it to behave as you're wrapping it. But I have not figured out a way to wrap it tight enough that you don't have to rewrap it. So fair note, if you can leave in the comments if you want to, how I should have been doing this, but what I did was just wrap it once, and then after it had a few days to dry, the string was a little bit loose, and because I don't want to send it out to you guys loose, I just cut the knot and wrapped it again and made it really tight. So it works perfectly fine. It's just a little bit more effort on my part. Maybe I don't know something that other people know. So if you have a suggestion for me and for everybody else on how to wrap the white sage once and not have to redo it, leave that message for us in the comments. If you have any other questions about wild harvesting, about sage properties, about how to wrap your own sage bundles, other herbs that you might want to use with it, go ahead and leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful and entertaining, definitely give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And very, very importantly, ring that bell, because I post a video every week and I want to be able to tell you immediately when that happens. So if you ring the bell, you will get notifications that the new video is there. Thank you guys for tuning in for this one. Hope you're enjoying following me along on my travels and seeing all of the fun, the adventure, and the wellness that I get up to. So thank you guys. Love you very much and see you next time. Bye.